What do people come to Turkey for? Sunshine, nature, history. That's what I came there for. And what do they get right now? Not very good treatment. They get high inflation, etc. Don't get me wrong. I love Turkey. I love Turkish people. I wish Turkey and Turkish people well. Unfortunately, tourism is not doing very well in Turkey. And I think there are some reasons, some lessons which we need to learn. I had a gentleman leaving a comment under my previous video where I was talking about that local businesses and businesses which were started by foreigners in Turkey are suffering and closing. I'm a foreigner retail business owner. I opened my business 1.5 years ago and I'm already closing because of high rent cost and also recession. Of course, in any investment, businesses should make a resistance plan, but with inflation and recession at the same time, it's very difficult to resist. But I still believe Turkey is a promising market with huge opportunities. I'm Vas, welcome to my channel. Remember, you can subscribe, leave some comments, leave some likes. In fact, what did you come to Turkey for? Leave it in the comments. I'm quite interested. This year, tourist season in Turkey was horrible. And last year it was also horrible. But this year it actually turned out worse. Remember, I did actually a couple of videos before the season started. And the local association of hotel owners and other businesses related to tourism, they were talking about taking initiative in bringing wealthy tourists to Turkey to replace these families which come to all-inclusive resorts. And I was actually very skeptical, but I thought it was not a good idea. I think I actually turned out right. And today I want to discuss some of the lessons which Turkey really needs to learn. This year, now, the Ministry of Tourism is discussing also initiative. The idea is to get away from all-inclusive resorts and go into medical tourism and culinary tourism. The ideas are great. I'm sure they float in even more ideas. The problem with those ideas that Turkey for such a long time established certain reputation. And now it doesn't live to that reputation, it actually wants to have a different reputation, which in itself is a great idea. Certainly, wealthy tourists, people go to Dubai. Dubai is a place which attracts a lot of rich people and they spend a lot of money there. But Turkey is not Dubai. Turkey has its own strengths. It has history, it has historic site, it has much longer season. But Dubai, on the other hand, it has air-conditioned huge spaces, it has variety of culinary experiences from around the world, and it actually established itself as a financial resort or financial center. This year, just recently, there was a new study. 5 top safe nations to live. Out of 5, 4 of them in the Middle East and 1 of them in Asia. None of the European countries, North American or South American countries got into the top 5. And that actually speaks for itself. Dubai definitely brings wealthy people and those wealthy people spend money there, but Turkey is not Dubai. In order for Turkey to compete with Dubai, it will take some serious work and it's not going to be one season. I think Turkey can start from listening to the customers. And after living in Turkey for a number of years now, I can tell you, there are quite a few opportunities. I travel around the world and I see a lot of opportunities. For instance, wealthy people still go to New York and they still go to Paris. Why do they go there? Well, there is a myth and there is a reality, but myth definitely outlives the reality. I have few friends who actually recently went to Paris, and what they're telling me is it's a dump. But people still go there. Paris still has Louvre, and no other places have Louvre. And lots of people go there to see it. Turkey probably can borrow some of the ideas from other nations and start establishing a few other things. Dubai, Miami, Rio de Janeiro. There are culinary capitals of the world where Perhaps Turkish chefs can go and study different types of cuisine. I've been to several all-inclusive resorts in Turkey, and I can tell you, in terms of culinary experience, I was disappointed. The discussion of this ministry meeting, which recently took place, uh, they brought an argument that Turkey wastes a lot of food and that costs a lot of money. And I want to point out one thing. A lot of food which is cooked in all-inclusive resort, it's not very appealing. It either tastes not very good, at least not to the expectation, or it looks not to expectation. And the mix of customers also has different requirements, different preferences. It's hard to serve Russians and Persians and Arab and all other nations. They all have different preferences. And not only they have different preferences, in order to achieve better than average taste, which would appeal to that nation, you have to do a lot of study, you have to do a lot of cooking and practicing. And I think that is the reason a lot of food goes to waste. And personally, I feel sad when I see food going to waste, because there are lots of people who would probably eat it. But the thing is, if you're talking about better off, wealthy people coming to Turkey and enjoying all-inclusive or otherwise, that problem has to be tackled. There has to be a variety of culinary experiences. The food has to have different quality, different appeal, different look. And for that, I think some of the chefs have to go to the West and study, and they have to be paid fair to stay in Turkey, otherwise they will leave. There are plenty of young people from Turkey right now seeking their fortune elsewhere, in Europe, in the United States, in Canada, etc. People are leaving. I was somewhat disappointed, besides high prices now for tourists, because for some reason somebody decided they can milk tourists for anything, and it just doesn't work. People have alternatives, and when people have alternatives, they try to find most cost-effective, most appealing alternative for themselves and for the family. And jacking up the prices is not an only strategy. If you bring more quality, people pay more. Going to historic sites all over Turkey, I can see that there are plenty of businesses that could accompany those historic sites and make money and pay taxes. In order for local businesses to strive, they really have to have a food traffic, and to have food traffic, you have to have independent tourists. But when independent tourists come, they don't have a lot of good alternatives. Prices of the hotels are high. Those are which better priced or more economic price, they're usually full, and those which are higher price, they're empty. And that problem needs to be addressed and tackled also. The government recently, Turkish government, started opening subsidized restaurants, more of them. In Turkey, there are some restaurants which are government subsidized, and I went to one and two of them just because I was curious. Honestly, people claiming that tourists come there and eat, maybe they do, but been to one or two of them before, I would never go again. First of all, the food it's okay, you're not gonna die or poison yourself with that food, but it's very simple. It's a good location, simple food, and it's okay. If you're talking about wealthy people, if you're talking about people who want to have variety experiences, they will not go to those locations. Speaking of food opportunities, there are other forms that could be employed in the hotels. For instance, in Brazil, there is a type of restaurants which is really popular. That is also Swiss table or buffet type of restaurant. In those restaurants, you can go and load your plate as much as you want, and you pay by the weight. There are some more than one track of food. For instance, you would have a regular food, and then you would have sushi. Sushi would cost you one price by weight, and the other food would cost you different price by weight. That is an opportunity for all-inclusive resort. I think if they charge just a little bit by weight, what people take, they would reduce their weight quite a bit, and they wouldn't hurt their all-inclusive reputation. More people would come, less food will go to waste, because even if you charge just $1 per plate, just $1 for any plate, people will be a lot more sensitive what they put, and they will ask their children to watch out. I think that's where the opportunity is. If you think about it, drinks, which are also in all-inclusive, you can charge for those drinks. You don't even have to charge high prices. You can charge a little bit, and also no drinks will go to the waste. Lots of people order drinks out of curiosity and they don't finish them. And granted, drinks don't really cost that much, but they do cost, and they actually have to have attendant, bartender, who will serve that drink. If you start charging just a little bit, 50 cents, $1, things will immediately improve. I could be wrong. If you have a different opinion, please put it in the comments. Let's discuss it. I think it's actually not a bad idea. I think Turkey shouldn't go away from its home foundation, which is all-inclusive. If there are other ideas, if there are other initiatives, if there are other options which they could employ and test them, it's not gonna hurt. You can still do this. Government can actually provide some grants perhaps, or create new food courts location all around the city, whatever that city is. I've been to Eastern Europe, I've been to Canada. What the people do now is they buy old building, factory building, and turn it into a food court and artist studios. And it works usually pretty well. That is something which Turkey can do, Antalya can do, Alanya can do, any other place can do. Or look at Miami. In Miami, everything is expensive. Food is expensive, drinks are expensive, and outrageously expensive. People still to come there. Why do they come there? Personally, I don't know why they come there. I think somebody has to study and tell me. Perhaps in the United States there aren't that many options to go and feel free. Also, it has a attraction for people who adopt alternative lifestyles, who adopt minority lifestyles, etc. But it's a different story. The fact is, people do go to Miami, they do get entertained there, and they spend a lot of money. One can study not only Dubai, one can study other places. In my previous video right here, I actually discussed a few other problems which Turkey is facing and Turkey will be going through in the near future. If you're interested, check it out.